Y'all ready? Let's go. Pull up. Some more. What's good, everybody? How are y'all doing out there in YouTube land? It's your boy Bugatti NYC. It's Wednesday the 23rd. That's right, y'all. 2025. I'm your host Bugatti NYC, and this here's our bottom line where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that and that, where we be talking about this and that and that and this and this and that. Just got me pissed. Yes, 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 another beautiful morning. We have made it to. How is everybody doing out there this morning? That's right, we energized, we ready to go. We got the clips up. It's your boy Bugatti NYC, and this is another episode 167 of Our Bottom Line. How's everybody doing out there? I slept fantastic. I hope that you guys did too, because guess what? Problems present opportunity. You made it another day to work on those problems. And that's what we about out here, y'all. So I hope y'all having a fantastic day. Let me see who's in the building. We got Batty Lynn in here from Detroit. We've got Angels among us. Good morning. Where you from, Angels? We want to know because you are a member. Rebecca, good morning from Grand Rapids, Michigan. Bill Andy, good morning. How you doing, Jamie? Good morning to you. Everybody that's under the sound of my voice, just wanted to say thank you because you could have went anywhere. But the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me today, I appreciate you. So we back at it. We got clips, we got follow-ups, we got Easter announcements that we that we forgot to announce. So we're gonna get all of that stuff out of the way because we gotta make sure that we get full messages and full scopes out to know what we're doing over here. It's our bottom line. I can't wait to get into these clips because ain't nobody dope as me. I'm just so fresh and clean. Can't wait to get into it, y'all, because I got a lot of stuff that I want to get clear. Wanted you guys to see the follow-ups, and that's how we do it over here. Make sure that when you chime in, you're letting me know where you're chiming in from so that I could make sure to get content from where you're from. Now, let's get some stuff noted right here. We didn't get all of the clips from Easter as well as all of the announcements and stuff like that. So what I want to do right now is just get the Easter egg roll announcement out of the way because I know you guys probably saw it already, but maybe some people haven't. And there were some questions and information that were in the conversation here that you guys probably want to know about.
She worked very hard. I said, "What are you doing?" She said, "I'm working on the egg roll." I said, "That sounds like a lot of fun." And we're going to have a lot of fun in just a couple of minutes. But again, our country is doing very well. We had the highest number of recruits, enlistments that we've had in, I think, 28 or 29 years. And I'm sure we're going to actually beat that number. It's all happened since November 5th. It's all happened. Enrollment in the military is at a record, and enrollment in the police force, fire forces, and all of the different law enforcement groups. We're setting records, and 6 months ago we couldn't get anybody. And now we're setting records. That's sort of testament to what's happening in terms of the spirit of our country. We love our country, and it's been something very, very special. And speaking of special, Easter is special, and it's one of our favorite days. It's one of our favorite periods of time. We're honoring Jesus Christ, and we're going to honor Jesus Christ very powerfully throughout our lives, all throughout our lives, not just now, all throughout our lives.
Just so you know, I pray before every episode. I used to be nervous. Now I'm not.
We're bringing religion back in America. We're bringing a lot of things back, but religion is coming back to America. That's why you see the kind of numbers that you're seeing, the spirit and the kind of numbers that you're seeing. So we're going to come down and join you right now. But I just want to wish everybody once again, Happy Easter. and enjoy your lives. We're going to have a great 4 years. Thank you very much, everybody.
All right, so let's get to work, you guys. Let's get to work. We got to get to work. Just wanted to open with a positive message that some may have missed. We got to get to work here because we got a situation with this Maryland sheriff where the Maryland sheriff is calling out all of these Democrats for going over and meeting with the alleged MS-13 gang member. So yeah, we got the Maryland sheriff who has a little bit more in-depth information that you guys might want to know about our Abreu Garcia. Yeah, it's still coming out. He's got some more information that I think you guys might be interested in seeing. Check this out right here. Maryland, where the guy's from.
Senator Chris Van Hollen, downplaying the violent MS-13 gang, admitting he didn't ask Garcia if he's a member of that gang, but then he tried to say he flew there to take a story. What story? And that was Patty Morin, the mother of Rachel Morin, saying he never reached out to them or the family of murder victim Kayla Hamilton. They are his constituents. Both were brutally murdered by illegal aliens. And that was Board Czar Tom Homan basically saying this is not about legal migration, this is about crime. Joining us now, the sheriff who worked both of those murder cases. He's Harford County, Maryland Sheriff Jeff Gaylor. Sheriff, thanks you so much for your service. Thank you for joining us. What do you make of all this? This is the same Democrat Senator Van Hollen who voted along with 36 or so Democrat senators against the Laken Riley Act, walked out of President Trump's joint session address when the president talked about women murdered by illegal aliens. What do we know about Garcia?
Well, it's absolutely appalling that this is where Senator Van Hollen and many Democrats, the many that are down there right now, want to focus their efforts on an individual who certainly has MS-13 ties, and I 100% believe, 1,000% believe him to be an MS-13 member from everything I've read out of the police reports and what has been released. This isn't just an average person on the street. This is somebody that the police have looked at and been able to tie, and 2 immigration judges have tied him to MS-13. This just isn't a victim of circumstance, of unfortunate circumstance. This is an individual who should not be in our country, who was ordered for removal, and the mistake being apparently he couldn't be removed to El Salvador.
I noticed a lot of people yesterday saying, oh, we don't care about this story, tariffs and other things are much more important. I think the story is very important because what happens here will set precedent for what continues to move forward. So we need to know what happens here because this is going to be the staple for what they decide to do. Keep on paying attention. We still got more to go, guys. Thank you so much. If you appreciate the content, double tap that screen. Let's get those likes up to get more people over here. Thank you.
I agree with one of the earlier guests I saw in an earlier program. If that's the case, then take him to the embassy in El Salvador, do the paperwork, and move him somewhere else. But he does not need to be in this country victimizing the citizens here.
Okay, let's talk about more what police in Maryland say the other MS-13 gang members Abreu Garcia was hanging around with. He was arrested in March 2019 with serious MS-13 gang members with track records, one for multiple assaults, concealing a dangerous weapon, burglary, quote, many other crimes. Another was found guilty of gang participation, is a known and active MS-13 gang member. And, MS-13 gang members are only allowed to hang around with other members or prospective members, right?
Yes, and there was also a confidential informant who named him as an MS-13 member, listed in some of the police reports that have been released, some of the investigative reports that have been released. And again, 2 immigration judges also apparently found for the same thing that he has those ties, as a member. Membership thing is they're not going to put it on their back. Well, they put it on their tattoos, but they're not going to advertise that they are. And the fact that Senator Van Hollen, I just heard it from you a couple minutes ago, didn't even bother to ask. He went all the way down there to visit an individual who's accused of being an MS-13 member, who we know who is. And he goes down there and doesn't even bring that up. That shows how nonsensical and just misguided this entire farce of a trip was.
So they haven't spoken to the mothers of the victims of the immigrants who've actually committed murders, but they've taken the time out to go down there to see how he's doing. Want to know what you guys think about that. Plus, guess what? If you're a constituent, that means you guys paid for that trip for him to go down there. What do you guys think about that? Are you on the side of letting the migrant come back and you feel like he should be able to come back here? Or do you think that, wait a minute, Do you think that due process is set? Because even though they're saying that even if he does come back to the United States, they've already put it out where he can't come back anyway because he came here illegally and he had other charges. So they've already put it out like that. So even if you want to bring this man back, they're going to deport him back again. But I know everybody else, they have their own opinions about stuff. That's why we come here and do our bottom line. I want to know what you guys have to think about this, have to say about this topic. Because we have to move along to stack the deck so that we can get more content going so that you guys have something to talk about. Right now, we're going to get into the U.S. stock market because that's what you guys really want to speak about. I know it. You always want to talk about that money, 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 money. Because right now, pockets are really touching. And I get it. So let's talk about the U.S. stock as it tumbles because Trump, again, he rips the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell. That's our lead story right here. And basically, you know, a lot of times when president says certain things, it affects the stock market. And as of a day ago, he did say some things about the Fed chair that wasn't confident, and therefore it reflected in the market. Let's check this out really quickly.
Let's go live to CNN business and politics correspondent Vanessa Yurkevich. Vanessa, walk us through what's behind this decline.
Well, markets opened rattled this morning because Beijing was essentially putting pressure on their trading partners not to work with the U.S. On essentially not trading with China any longer. And then after that, there was a Truth Social post by President Trump that came out, which sort of rattled markets again. And that's why you're seeing that steep decline. The Dow down 1,100 points now. But you can see the post right there where he's essentially calling on the Federal Reserve to cut rates. This is something that the
Okay, what did the president say? Let's read the whole thing and not just the highlights. Preemptive cuts in interest rates are being called for by many. With energy costs way down, food prices, including Biden's egg disaster, substantially lower, and most other things trending down, there's virtually no inflation. With these costs trending so nicely downward, just what I predicted they would do, there can almost be no inflation. But there can also be slowing of the economy unless Mr. Too Late, Mr. Too Late, a major loser, lowers interest rates now. Europe has already lowered several times. Powell has always been too late, except when it came to election, period. When he lowered in order to help sleepy Joe Biden, later Kamala, get elected. How did that work out? Okay, let's keep on going.
president really has no power doing. And when he talks about Mr. Too Late, he's talking about the Federal Reserve Chair, Jerome Powell. Over the last week or so, he's really ratcheted up his pressure on the Fed chair, essentially calling for his termination, saying, if I could terminate him at some point, I will. The president appointed Jerome Powell in his first term. President Biden re-upped him for his second term. And ultimately, President Trump there, though, saying that he has the power to remove the Fed chair, Jerome Powell. But that is not necessarily the case here. And there's some legal precedent for that says that the president does not have the authority to remove the chair of the Federal Reserve unless there are three sort of different qualifications: inefficiency, neglect of duty, malfeasance of office. So that is why there's so much question about whether or not the president has the power to make this move. But this is why you see markets rattled right now, because the Federal Reserve is an independent body from the government, and it acts sort of as a safety net for the U.S. economy. And when you have the president threatening to remove the Federal Reserve chair or trying to direct the Federal Reserve to make any sort of monetary policy, that rattles investors and traders who see this Federal Reserve Bank as sort of an independent catch-all for potential issues with the economy. And one of those issues, Boris, as you know, that is playing out right now is this global trade war.
Okay, that's what we needed right there from you. I know you guys are going to kill this messenger and you're going to go in on CNN, but guess what? Just like we say all the time, don't worry about the network. Let's see if the information is true. Oh, we don't want to hear it from CNN. Oh, we don't want to hear it from Fox. Let the rabbit stick his head out the hole first. Boom, then we get him. I'm in the comments. I want to know what you guys have to say about this. Okay, no. Anyone else wondering if the man could be a secret bounty hunter? What else you got? Mike says, it's good for the market to drop. It will come back bigger and better. Good looking, Mike. Thank you for staying on topic. Rebecca says, he needs to stay gone. It's sick that we paid for him to go visit that gang member. Yep, Rebecca, I agree with you. Mike says, he can't come back and don't need to be in our country. We have enough BS in America. Don't need more from other countries. Kendra Walker said, what? Got the glove up with the face cover. Good morning, Kendra. Grand Rising from VA. Bill Andy, well, that puts a different light on things, doesn't it? What else you got, Jamie? It's not about what you think, it's what you can prove. He doesn't sound matter of fact. Joe DeMatteo says, good corning. Bill Andy, our country. Casey says, good morning, Bugatti. Good morning, Casey. Angels among us. We got Colorado in the building. All right, y'all, we're going to keep on going because you know how we got to stack this deck. We got more, and we're going to keep on going because now got a message from the president directly from the Oval Office. This just came in yesterday. You know your boy stay on that breaking news. I got to keep you guys up on point to every single thing that's happening, even if I got to go get it after I didn't see it before. So, yeah, let's get on top of this right now. Let's go.
Mr. President, on China, your press secretary has suggested that some progress is being made. Are negotiations actively underway? And do you agree with Secretary Bessent, who has suggested that the current standoff with China is not sustainable?
We're doing fine with China. We're doing fine with I think almost every country. Everybody wants to have involvement with the United States. As you know, we were losing $5 billion a day during the Biden administration, during that last year, was a horror show, what they were doing on trade, $5 billion a day. And now we have it down to a very low number because we're getting 25% from the automobile industry, from autos. We're getting 25% for steel, 25% for aluminum, and we're getting the baseline of 10%. And think of it, we're losing almost $2 trillion on trade. And those days are gone. We're not going to do that again. We're not going to let that happen. We're being ripped off by almost, I don't say every, but very close to every country, everywhere in the world, just being ripped off left and right. You had no leadership. You had people that didn't know what they were doing. And we're going to turn the country around. You know, we have a very nice phrase, make America great again. That's what we're going to do. And it's going to start with trade. We're doing really well. I see the stock market was up nicely, but this is a transition period, and it's going to be a little while, but we are doing well with every country. Ultimately, we have something they want, and you have to view it that way. We have something they want, and they want very badly. And, you know, it's going to be, they're coming in, they're taking treasure, they're taking jobs when they do that, and they have to pay. And they don't have to pay if they come in and create their...
Do me a favor, you guys, if y'all appreciate the content, we're here from 6 until all of the clips are gone. We haven't even started busting off the clips. Pause. Do me a favor, let's go ahead and double tap that screen and get those likes up. That makes more people come over here and be aware that we have the content that we have. Also, if you appreciate the content, go ahead and subscribe to the channel. We're looking to get to 40,000 members right now. That would be fantastic. Come on, y'all. Thank you so much. And let me keep on letting you guys see this content. This is new breaking information. I don't like stopping the clips, but it would be good. Double tap that screen because it gets more people over here. Thank you so much. Let's keep on going.
Their own jobs. You know, if they do their product here, if they build their product or make their product in the United States, we have absolutely no tariffs, and we welcome people. But we're taking in a lot of money from tariffs, and our country is getting stronger all the time because the other was not sustainable.
With China.
Are you going to play hardball with them? Are you going to mention COVID?
Well, I'm not going to say, no, I'm not going to mention COVID. I'm not going to say, oh, I'm going to play hardball with China. I'm going to play hardball with you, President Xi. No. We're going to be very nice.
Good morning.
They're going to be very nice, and we'll see what happens. But ultimately, they have to make a deal because otherwise they're not going to be able to deal in the United States. So we want them involved, but they have to, and other countries have to make a deal. And if they don't make a deal, we'll set the deal because we're the ones that set the deal. Scott and Howard and myself and others, we're going to be setting the deal, and it'll be a fair deal for everybody, and it'll be, I think it's a process that's going to go pretty quickly. We've spoken to many, many countries, and we're getting their views on things. You know, there are a lot of things. They have VAT taxes. They have everything you can have. Don't forget, as an example, the European Union was set up to take advantage of the United States. That's why it was set, and they've done that, but they're not doing that anymore. Yeah.
Mr. President, will you prevent Hamas from having any role in governing a post-war Gaza? And will Hamas have to be permanently eradicated for a ceasefire to be reached?
Well, we're not going to let Hamas do that, and we're going to see what happens with Gaza. But we've made a lot of progress in the Middle East. Tremendous. Should have never happened. That date, that very special date, October 7th, should have never happened. It would have never happened if I were president. But we'll be stopping that whole situation. Yeah, please.
Earlier today, Treasury Secretary Dustin suggested that with tariff rates as high as they are now, it's effectively an embargo of trade between the United States and China. Do you see it that way?
That's true. 145% is very high, and it won't be that high. It's not going to be that high. It got up to there. We were talking about fentanyl, where, you know, various elements built it up to 145. No, it won't be anywhere near that high.
What level do you think it'll come down to if you have it?
It'll come down substantially, but it won't be zero. It used to be zero. We were just destroyed. China was taking us for a ride, and just not going to have. It's not going to happen. We're going to be very good to China. Have a great relationship with President Xi. But they would make billions and billions and billions of dollars a year, and they would build their military out of the United States and what they made, so that won't happen. But they're going to do very well, and I think they're going to be happy, and I think we're going to live together very happily and ideally work together. So I think it's going to work out very well.
All right, y'all. I think that's good. It's a lot of same stuff being said over and over again about China and all of that, but we covered the boundaries of every area as far as that everybody's concerned of. You guys learned about the stock market. You heard what's being done right now. We're still in the middle of the waters right now, you guys. That means we're right here. We're still riding a wave. We want to be here. We want to be in calm waters or steady waters, right? But we're still here right now. So, hey, long as we know where we're at least we know what we got to deal with and how to move forward. Now, that's what we're going to do over here, because New York, Airbnb is getting smart. Airbnb spent $5 million in backing New York candidates. And guess what these candidates are open to? Having Airbnb in New York City. Currently, guess what? I don't know what state that you guys are from. We in New York cannot have Airbnb in our apartments. We only can have Airbnb in our apartments if we stay here. Tell me how stupid that is. That means that the only way you can actually rent out on Airbnb, you have to stay in one room of the apartment while everything else is going on while the place is being rented. Pretty stupid. They're trying to do that so it can not hurt the hotel markets as well as real estate and things of that nature. But at this point, as you can see, Airbnb is getting kind of smart, and with certain candidates that's okay for it, might be a chance in New York for us to actually make some money off of the high-ass rent in these apartments and go ahead and rent them out a little bit to try to help out, right? But check this out. I want you guys to see that we've got this new opportunity right here where Airbnb has basically played their hand, and they're being smart, and they're putting their money where their mouth is.
Well, there's a major corporate player donating big bucks to some candidates running in local elections.
Yeah, Airbnb trying to use its influence through its campaign spending. Fox 5's Linda Schmidt has been taking a look at what the popular short and long-term rental platform is after, and she is live from our newsroom. Hey, Linda.
Good evening there, ladies, and they are after something. Airbnb has a super PAC now that has $5 million to spend on candidates across New York State who support Airbnb. Now, here in the city, Airbnb is hoping to help elect candidates here who will ease up on the restrictions that currently exist in the city.
It's just a backdoor entry.
Vijay Dandapani is the CEO of the Hotel Association of New York City. The group represents about 300 hotels and opposes short-term rentals like Airbnb, which cuts into the hotel business.
The expensive hotel business, where the cheapest hotel at one night is $200. So of course they don't want you to get an Airbnb. They want to keep ripping you off. Excuse me. Allegedly. Come into the comments after this. I'm going to read everything you guys are stacking.
and they say gives Airbnb an unfair advantage.
You don't have to comply with the human trafficking law. You don't have to comply with the fire safety law. You don't have to comply with the construction issues that come up with the hotel.
Airbnb now has a super PAC called Affordable New York, ready to pump some serious cash.
So my question is this: if that's the problem with Airbnb in New York, how come it's not the problem in other places like Houston, other places like, Indianapolis? That's not a fair argument right here. It's not making no sense to me.
Issues that come up with the hotel.
Airbnb now has a super PAC called Affordable New York, ready to pump some serious cash into candidates across the city and state who support short-term rentals. $5 million worth, listed on the New York City Campaign Finance Board website. City Council Speaker Adrienne Adams, who is running for mayor, is sponsoring a bill to ease the restrictions on Airbnb and short-term rentals. Her chief of staff, Ty Hankerson, is running for her seat on the council, and the city's Campaign Finance Board website shows Airbnb's super PAC has spent more than $80,000 to boost his campaign.
I think it's an indication more than anything else is that this is the mother lode of apartments in the entire United States. It's a very attractive place in terms of vacation travelers, tourist destinations, but also business travelers.
Airbnb releasing this statement. Airbnb will be supporting candidates throughout the city and state who champion common sense solutions to help everyday New Yorkers navigate the affordability crisis.
You know who I see coming next after this? Pause. Walmart. Guess what else we don't have in New York? We don't have Walmart. No. In New Jersey, Long Island, and other places maybe. But New York, no. Because we want those other stores like the Whole Foods or all your dough, places like that. They want those places to thrive so that we, the consumer, have to pay more. Don't you know? Come on, what you got to say, Joe? Wait a minute. What else you got? What you got to say, Jamie? Bankruptcy just means don't keep taxing me. Accuracy for the IRS. Two confirmed says, good morning, 2. What's up? And Jim says his company has an annual revenue stream over $500 million. Wow, that's a lot of dough right there. Kendra Walker says, I have been working with someone on doing it here since Caesars. I'm building up the area. Oh, okay, good work, Kendra. KR says, start reading, genius. What else we got here? Natalie says, Georgievich, trafficking stickers everywhere in hotels now in New York State. What? Oh, they got stickers everywhere, for real? Jim says, KR, why am I a fool? Okay, Marielle, they got you. KR says, does practically 7 bankruptcies sound like someone who you should trust? Talking about Trump. B&B, what else we got? Out of nowhere, now supporting Airbnb. You said, Joe Mateo says, I, out of nowhere, now support Air. Okay, Kendra Walker says, I stayed in one like that in New York about 3 years ago. It was a brilliant one, I believe. Okay. VIP Auction Group says, like, subscribe, and subscribe to the channel. Woo, it is kind of hot in here right now, but I want to keep on moving because already Bob Menendez, Senator, the corrupt one, he's already got to do jail time. Now his wife, Nadine, she's been found guilty of bribery charges on all charges. So now he was setting up the bribes, but she was the one taking the money because he didn't want to be a part of that. He wanted to let his wife do it. So now guess what? She got found guilty on all charges. Only took the jury 7 hours to get her convicted. So yeah, we're going to move on and move forward because we got a lot of other stuff going on in New York. Let's get over here to Nadine Mendez and see what she's going to be doing for the next probably 15 years of her life.
Guilty on all counts. That verdict from a jury in Manhattan court today in the federal bribery and corruption trial of Nadine Mendez, wife of convicted former U.S. Senator Bob Menendez. The charges stemming from her role as a partner in crime in her and her husband's years-long scheme to sell his political power for gold bars, cash, and other bribes. Senior correspondent Brenda Flanagan is outside the Manhattan federal courthouse with the details. Brenda.
Brianna, it took that jury about 7.5 hours before they came back with guilty verdicts all 15 counts, including bribery, conspiracy, extortion, fraud, and obstruction of justice. Mrs. Menendez's reaction, she stood there very quietly in the court wearing her pink mask as the jury foreman delivered that verdict. Later, outside, her defense attorney didn't let her speak. However, he said, quote, "We are devastated that this has been a very rough day, but that it's not the end. They're going to look into delaying sentencing." He would not comment on the concept of an appeal at this point. Now, obviously, this verdict matches her husband's, former and disgraced Senator Bob Menendez, who was also found guilty on all counts. Now, jurors obviously believe the prosecutors in this case. They moved with pretty much the same body of evidence in both trials, and they called the couple partners in crime, that they put his power and influence up for sale, that Nadine Mendez was the go-between, demanding payment, conveying messages, and collecting bribes, and that she did the dirty work that the senator didn't want to get caught doing, Brianna.
Bren, what does it say about the defense? This was a trial that was expected to go until mid-May. Here we are about 3 weeks after the jury was selected with a bunch of delays, days-long delays. What type of defense did they put up?
Well, I mean, it's very interesting when you think about the fact that Bob Menendez's defense argued that Nadine concealed this whole criminal enterprise and essentially kept him in the dark. Her defense said, no, this is a prosecution that has failed to make its case, that it didn't prove her guilt beyond a reasonable doubt. Their key witness had uncorroborated evidence. Obviously, the jury was not convinced. The defense...
He threw her under the bus. Man, you snitched on your wife, Bob? Oh, my God. He said that she did it and he ain't even know what she was doing. Damn, Bob. Now, that's foul. That is the definition of a snitch. When somebody is orchestrating something with you and they get popped and then they say you did it, that's what a snitch is. I'm in the comments. That's crazy. Let's go, y'all, because he got 15. Kamala Harris don't do anything and the Democratic Party lost half of its team. What else we got? At Rabbit Gunman, no need to apologize, Kendra said. KR says, sorry for not joining the cult of personality. Kaz said, who are you addressing, Kendra? Jim says, I am being respectful. Wait a minute. Rabbit Gunman says, what did I miss? Sorry, I'm late. You just missed a couple of clips and we going back and forth over a lot of topics. Go ahead and double tap that screen to let everybody know that we here. Go ahead and double tap that screen, y'all. Bill Andy says, boot KR. Okay, we got to see who KR is. Disrespecting the host will get you blocked. Okay, we looking for KR now. Jamie says, the stock market needs to control securities, not count them. Then the highs and lows will show its full potential. KR, okay, that's Starlix. Out of here. Bang! Ain't even gonna find out why. Bye. What else we got here? Jim says, yeah, this guy looks like a stand-up successful dude. Thank you, Jim. Appreciate that. Thanks, PCV VIP Auction Group said that. Okay, what else we got? We got this man had style and pizzazz, always looking dapper in fine suits. 8, thank you so much. Joe DeMatteo says, at Jim, he just woke up mad. Pray for him. What else we got here? PCV, I've been scrolling and ripping on random streams, but this one genuinely rocks. You're awesome. Had the sub. Thank you so much. That's what I work for every day. Want you guys to understand, I love to make sure that our message is clear. I like the community here. Don't matter about the likes so much, but just want to make sure that we have a good community and people are understanding and getting what they need to get from this platform. Now we're going to keep on moving forward because we got this Secret Service situation that I can't even believe this. How do you be the head of, guys, how do you have Secret Service and your purse gets stolen? Come on, Secret Service, come to the front. I need everybody in the Secret Service to come to the front. Come to the front of the congregation right now. Because Nome, Christine, I'm sorry, what's her name? Miss Nome had her purse stolen from a restaurant while she was surrounded by Secret Service. That's the best support, security you're supposed to ever have. How do your purse get stolen? And what you doing with $3,000 in cash in your purse? Where that money come from? Well, I ain't gonna ask no questions, but let's get into this clip right now because Wonder Woman over here, that's what I call her because she looked like I forgot the original Wonder Woman. She looked just like her to me. Yeah, she got a.
Well, as Homeland Security Secretary Kristi Noem works to make America safer, the crime crisis in our nation's capital remains a major problem even for Kristi Noem. The senior national correspondent Kevin Cork is live in D.C. with what happened. Kevin, good evening.
Evening to you, Trace. The Secret Service has reviewed security footage from a restaurant where Secretary Noem's purse was stolen last night. It's actually believed a, quote, unknown white male wearing a medical mask stole the bag and then left the restaurant. Gone were her purse, her DHS access badge, her passport, driver's license, blank checks, keys, even medication. What's more, she had $3 grand in cash inside the bag, about which the DHS said tonight her entire family was in town, including her children and grandchildren. She was using the cash withdrawal to treat her family to dinner, activities, and Easter gifts. The Noem incident, one of over 400 robberies so far this year in D.C., though overall robberies are actually way down 32%. Property crime down 5% year to date. Overall crime off by some 8% again year to date.
So some white guy, they said it, some white guy in the mask, you serious? You sure it was? Oh, okay. So it wasn't one of us or illegal migrant, huh? So that must be how he got that close. But then again, Secret Service all around you and your purse gets stolen and you're the head of the department, somebody's head needs to roll on this one. What y'all got to say about this? Scott said, let's go. Keep up the good work, Bugatti. Thank you so much. Jamie is dying laughing. Kendra says, Lord have mercy. Yes, that happened yesterday. Okay, yeah, no, she got a blank checks in her purse. That's some sketchy stuff, man. Her purse wasn't stolen. Think it was maybe dropped off, rabid gunman. What else we got here? Mike says, oh, wait, Trump helped the egg prices as well as another wing for MAGA. What else we got here? Joe DeMatteo at Queenfoot. All I said was I want to talk about egg prices. Don't make me dump tea into the nearest harbor inmate. Joe, calm down, man. Calm down. Angels Among Us said, damn. Queen says, I'm asking questions. You want to fight. Relax, Joe. Leave it alone, Queen. It's okay. Thank you so much for being new here. And both of you guys, I love you both. Thank you so much for coming through. Let's stay on topic, you guys. Lord says, salute, salute. Jamie Tucker dying laughing like, yo, Jamie. Hey, yo, Jamie. Yo, Jamie, how she get her purse stolen like that, dog? I don't know. I can't tell you. Double tap the screen if y'all appreciating the content, because we ain't even start. We got more. Now we're gonna be on some what we got over here. I need you guys to see some executive orders being signed now, and because the flag had to be put to half mast when the Pope passed. A lot of people in the comments said some crazy comments about this, but on our side, religion, we're neutral on it. We don't play around when it comes to religion, and everybody has their religion, their race, and their beliefs. We respect that here, just to let you guys know. Yesterday, people really came sideways and said a lot of different things about the Pope. That's someone else's different religion, and if you don't appreciate it, you can hold your thoughts on that.
I just signed an executive order putting the flags of our country, all of them, all federal flags and state flags, at half-mast in honor of Pope Francis. So he was a good man, worked hard, he loved the world, and it's an honor to do that. I just signed an executive...
On the day that he passed, the president signed an executive order to put the flags at half-staff out of respect to the Pope. And then yesterday, everyone was able to go and see the Pope lying in state, had on all red, and that's what happened with the Pope. We don't make specific comments on religion here. We keep it moving. That's what we do. Because we got this other situation where now we're going to talk about my boy Tom Homan. Because I love when Tom Homan don't play around. Tom Homan is like that friend that you got to be like, yo, Tom, yo, chill. But no, I'm still going to say what I got to say. Like that big burly uncle that just be saying what he got to say because he know can't nobody really beat him up. Yeah, Tom don't really play when it comes down to what he got to say and what he do. So I want you guys to see that Tom Homan kind of went off on this ABC host about being so lenient on what's happening back at El Salvador and going to see this illegal alien. Check this out.
Director Jonathan Fahey. And Jonathan, good day to you. Also the former DHS Deputy Assistant Secretary and a former federal prosecutor. Jonathan, thank you for your time. Tom Homan, over the weekend on ABC, says he has no regrets, no apologies. He's not going back. Watch here.
I think I stand by the fact I think we did the right thing here. We removed a public safety threat, a national security threat, a violent gang member from the United States. ICE intelligence says he's an MS-13 gang member. A confidential informant says he's an MS-13 gang member. The country of El Salvador says he's an MS-13 gang member. I think he's exactly where he should be.
Jonathan, where's this end up?
You know, ultimately, I don't know, because ultimately in the courts, they can only go so far as pushing the Trump administration to say, go into another country and force that other country to send somebody back, even though they presume that there's a inferiority sort of bargaining power between the two countries. Ultimately, it's El Salvador's decision if they do want to send them back or not. But I think it's really important to note, and what Tom Homan was talking about, this person was ordered deported. So they only withheld deporting from El Salvador because it was too dangerous from him. So ironically, El Salvador is so much safer now. So the reasons for even withholding his deportation no longer exist. So any way it ends up, he ends up being deported. He doesn't end up being back here in the United States.
I just wanted to make that clear because, like I said, no matter what, even if he does get brought back, that would be considered smuggling because he's already deported under our laws. So they're still fighting for this guy, continuously trying to make a reason for him to be here, and just doing this for no reason. Honestly, I think that they should pay more attention to those mothers and the families that lost members of their families due to illegal criminals and illegal people that came over here, instead of worrying about going to get him and trying to make a show with him. Isn't it smuggling? Yes, it would be smuggling. Jim says Obama and Tom Homan went ballistic back in 2008. They had signs up and everything back in the day talking about why so much deportation. X is through deport. This person knows what they're talking about. This person, Jim, says that. Jim says Obama and Tom Homan went ballistic back in 2008. Okay, Joe says, at Mike Thompson, how am I? Okay, let's keep on going, you guys. Mr. Good Citizen says, I'm just wondering if Democrats have any solutions. We hear them complaining, but we don't hear ideas from them. Not at all. And anything, it's just anti-Republican or anti-common sense. How about that? Or anti-independent, because that's what I am. I'm not independent. I'm not a Republican, and I'm not a Democrat. I'm a human being just like you guys. I don't claim parties. I claim humanity. That's why we all need to get together and stop worrying about all of these parties, and then more things would happen. If we really had a party where everybody was enjoying the party, everybody else would be benefiting from it. These are separate parties going on with a lot of confusion because nobody's really gauging and coming together with ideas, if you really think about it. We had a real party, we were all dancing to the right beat, the same beat, things would flow differently with a different rhythm, but we don't have that going on in our country. Now we're going to keep on going forward because Trump team says Ukraine peace deal, it could be dropped within days. And they said that last week. So I don't know where they're at when it comes down to it this time, because right now they're getting pretty peeved off. And from what we've been reporting is that the president, as well as many other administrators, basically tired of waiting on Ukraine and Russia to stop this war. They were supposed to stop the war during Easter, a peace weekend. Still we're bombing each other. So that's a problem that we're having right now. If you want to be in the middle of something and you keep on telling people, hey, stop fighting, but they want to keep on going, you can't do but so much. But you know what? Y'all go ahead and do what y'all got to do, because I'm tired of being in the middle. And that's where we're at right now.
If we're so far apart that this is not going to happen, then I think the president's probably at a point where he's going to say, well, we're done. We're not going to continue with this endeavor for weeks and months on end. So we need to determine very quickly now, and I'm talking about a matter of days, whether or not this is doable.
Marco is right in saying it. We want to see it end. If for some reason one of the two parties makes it.
Okay, we got 128 people in the building. I must suck, because I don't see nothing but like 28 something likes over there. You guys that's up there that run when I do this, feel free. It's all good, because I'm just holding on to you by a thread anyway. So do me a favor. If y'all want to run because I'm asking for likes, holla, 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 anybody, holla, holla, do me a favor, double tap the screen. Your boy's been here since 6 o'clock in the morning, and what I'm asking you is not hard. Tap, tap. Please, we really appreciate that. I don't like stopping the clips. I like for the continuation, for the message to keep flowing. But when I see these crackhead numbers right here, because I ain't asking for no money. You know, we don't ask for money over here, even though we could use some, because we don't get paid for doing this. And then right here, we're looking like crackheads. And I'm saying that to everybody here. If you in this building right now and you ain't double tapped that, you're looking just as cracked out as me. Doom, 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 doom. I can feel it. Doom, doom, doom. Tonight's the night. If you here right now under these cracked out numbers, hey, I guess we smoking together. Now let's keep it going.
Very difficult. We're just going to say you're foolish, you're fools, you're horrible people, and we're going to just take a pass.
As the Trump administration works to determine if an end to the Ukraine-Russia war is possible, Ukrainian officials have signed an agreement in the lead up to a full minerals deal, which is expected on Thursday. Here to discuss a special envoy to Ukraine, General Keith Kellogg. General, thank you so much for joining us. So, first of all, what do we know about this minerals deal, and why is it good for the United States?
Yeah, Charlie, thanks for having me. Good to be with you this morning. Look, it's a great deal, and what it does, it provides us minerals, precious metals that we really don't have here in the United States at a large number. We're talking, when I'm talking monetary terms. And for example, titanium. Titanium, we imported, they exported. It's things we can use for our industry, and it's very, very important. But let me do a quick pivot to.
Okay, so let's see what Ukraine critical minerals are. Let's take this slowly. Let's go titanium, used for F-35 Joint Strike Fighters. We got lithium. We can't do nothing without the lithium because we use those in our batteries and in our electrical vehicles. We got key materials in steel production. Okay, nickel, which is used in batteries and jet engine production. And then cobalt, used in rechargeable batteries and EV production. Apparently, the United States doesn't have any of these things, and we got to rely on Ukraine. But guess what? Also, as I've been telling you guys last week, the land that Russia has overtaken in Ukraine, yes, we're doing deals with Russia because they own part of that land. And we still need these minerals.
Secretary Rubio said just a minute ago when we just came out of Paris, just got in last night, from what happened in Paris when we talked to the E3, the Brits, the Germans, and the French, and then the Ukrainians were there as well, where we had Sibia, their foreign minister, we had Yermak, the chief of staff, and we also had Umarov, their minister of defense. And then Secretary Rubio had his two flankers, as I'll call them, Steve Witkoff and myself with him as well. And we talked about going forward with a potential ceasefire in the near term. And that's the reason we're returning to London this week to actually lock that down. And I think there's tremendous.
They got a few days left to find out if they're going to cease fire. If not, what I see is, I'm going to just say what's the elephant that's in the room. Russia will keep on penetrating, taking over. I don't know if we're going to sell missiles to Ukraine for them to defend themselves, because they would need to buy more missiles. The last time Zelensky was here, President Trump already stated that he said he wanted to buy more missiles, which does not send a signal that they're willing to end this war anytime soon. So whatever you guys got to say, I want to know what you guys got to say about this in the comments. Let's go. What was Biden and Kamala plans to end the war? I'll wait. Got all day. Mike says 100%, Casey. What else we got? We got Ukraine is a sovereign country, though, Queen said. We got Mike Thompson. They are finding the minerals here, just not as abundant as overseas. Queen says, yeah, I hear you, mister. The Tim Hart says Ukraine and Africa have these minerals. Casey says, you feel me, Mike? I don't know why some people find it so hard to do. Okay, what we got? Mr. Good Citizen says, Queen, if it was about minerals, we could just cut a deal with Russia right now. That's right. Kendra says, yeah, and lithium is what people are vaping too. Ugh, really? Queen, yeah, it's a global system. It can't be just America first. Jamie Tucker says, controlling material is a waste, all waste, so I don't care. Thomas, but we still need that material. It's all waste, but we still need it, Jamie. Even though you don't care, you still need it. That's like saying, I don't want to brush my teeth. Your breath still stinks. That's what I'm saying. Brush your teeth. We keep on going, y'all. We got Thomas that says stupid drunk. What else we got? Spectrax, DMX quote. Yeah, that was Ja Rule. What we got? Can Do says, God bless Trump. Mr. Good Citizen said, best president I've ever witnessed. We got Queen that says, I get the wanted, the minerals, etc. But clearly so does Putin. Why didn't he tell his friend Putin to stop? Well, because he wasn't in office and Putin saw the weakness in what was going on with our past government. If you saw the weakness in Afghanistan, you see the weakness in everything else, now you're saying to yourself, now is a good time to strike Ukraine or my adversaries because no one is going to really have anything to say about it. Because look at who else is around. They're not going to defend them, and they're scared. They're weak. That's why Putin did what he did. Now we're going to keep on moving, you guys, because now, China. We're going to get into China right now. China, I think China's a little bit nervous right now. I don't know what's going on, but all my military people, come on to the front of the stage. All my men of valor, all of my guys that like to stand strong and secure our nation. This is for you right here, guys. Because China, they ain't a crook, son. They just a shook one. I think they shook right now because we sending over a whole bunch of Jeeps to the Philippines and setting up over there, and they trying to figure out what's going on. What's going on? China's kind of nervous right now. I don't know if you guys saw this, but we've been sending all types of Jeeps, military equipment and stuff over to the Philippines. And yeah, they like, wait, are they setting up? Are they about to do something? What's going on here? Yeah. Strong show of military presence, baby.
Wheels and track moving are two different modes of travel here.
In a stunning show of military might and strategic alliance, the United States has deployed a significant number of military vehicles and equipment to the Philippines. Subic Bay, once a key U.S. naval base during the Cold War, has once again become the center of attention as rows of armored vehicles, supply trucks, and logistics equipment roll ashore. But what does this mean for the region, and why now? Located on the western coast of Luzon, Subic Bay has long been a hub for U.S.-Philippine military cooperation, and today it is once again a stage for growing tensions in the Indo-Pacific. As the geopolitical rivalry between the United States and China continues to intensify, the deployment of U.S. assets to the Philippines sends a clear message. The Pacific is no longer a backwater, it is a front line.
Good people, listen up. The corporate grind got you down. Maybe it's time for a change. Maybe it's time to do your...
This strategic movement of military equipment comes amid joint training exercises under the annual Balakatan drills, U.S. and Philippine armed forces. But this year, the scale is unprecedented. Officially, this is about interoperability, training side by side, sharing logistics, enhancing disaster response. But under the surface, it's clear that the strategic positioning of U.S. hardware in the Philippines is part of a broader containment strategy. The Philippines, long a treaty ally of the United States, is once again emerging as a key location in America's Indo-Pacific blueprint. Tensions in the South China Sea.
So we're going to call it for what it is, you guys. Well, they're basically trying to say that the U.S. is starting to make position over there just in case something has to go down. If you guys remember Ukraine and Russia war, first you heard about Russia positioning themselves in several areas of Ukraine, right? And then once they wanted to strike, that's when they did that. So I don't know if we're using this as the same thing or even a military strong tactic or to solidify the borders. You guys let me know. I want to know what you guys think about this. Okay. They took Crimea, says BBK. Jim says, yeah, 2011. BBK says, to believe otherwise, dangerously foolish. Can Do says Jeeps are a foreign car company now, though. What we got here? Mr. Good Citizen says, Jim, you probably have an old Jeep. When here was made by Jeep. Okay. Rabbit says, yeah, let's go. They want it. They got it. They have been cyber attacking us for years. Uh-oh. See, Rabbit's like, they want it. They got it. Mr. Good Citizen, I got to go with Gangstar for me. Okay. Kendra says, at love. BBK and China knows that. Jim says, my Jeep has 190,000 miles and it still runs like new. Damn, where you get that Jeep from, Jim? Kiwi says, Trump is tapping out. Michelle says, double tap that screen, y'all. Double tap that screen. Mr. Good Citizen says, Mobb Deep, that's my favorite duo, minus Meth and Red. Okay, y'all, that's what I listen to every morning, by the way, the new Redman album. Muddy Waters 2. Mr. Good Citizen says Jeep is the worst of the car brands. Can Do, no cap, uranium. We got Kendra Walker says at Can Do, it lithium, stop uranium. Can Do, Jeep is a foreign car company. Tay says it's not the stock market chair, it's the Fed chair, dummy. Was kind of confused in that, didn't really know which one it was. But thanks for that. You ain't have to call them a dummy because your damn sure wasn't talking to me. Now we're going to keep on moving because we got these feds that threaten New York City funding over what? Congestive pricing. And I'm glad that this is going on because allegedly Kathy Hochul is stealing from everybody in New York by making you pay for federal taxes as well as now paying $9 to cross into the city and then $14 if you don't have a Easy Pass. They've already made up to $50 million with this theft. Alleged theft that I'm calling it, because if you're already paying for something and then you're being double tapped for it and that money's being sent somewhere else, yeah, that's like setting up a roadblock on the street and making people pay the toll and they're not getting nothing for it. And I'm forcing you to go in the subway where you can get knocked in your head or set on fire. How about that? I want you guys to see this real quick. Finally, we're getting some pushback from the Fed, who's now about to start cutting money. And I think that this needs to be benchmarked and made and paid attention to. I have been recording every single one of these videos because I want to have them for backlog, for proof. Because if it's illegal, I also think that everybody that got their money taken when it came down to those easy passes deserve a refund. Don't just say, okay, it's no more congestive pricing, we're going to leave it all alone. What about the $100 million you already took from the people? If you're getting rid of it, give them their damn money back. How about that? Not just one side, give people their money back.
The technical deadline for the city to turn off the congestion pricing gantries has come and gone. Yeah, and now the U.S. Department of Transportation, through Secretary Sean Duffy, issuing a new ultimatum to New York State and to Governor Kathy Hochul. Fox 5's Arthur Chien has the latest.
Well, let me repeat this for those who didn't hear me the first 10 or...
I'm going there. Stupidest governor we ever had in New York. I can't wait to see her get out of office. This lady does not know her ass from her elbow. Y'all got any problem with that? See me in the comments. I can't stand this lady. She is terrible.
11 times.
That's Governor Kathy Hochul tossing aside the latest threatening letter from the Trump administration, saying it will withhold federal funding from New York unless congestion pricing gantries are shut down. The letter comes from Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy, who says the governor is attacking working-class Americans.
This is appropriate that the federal government send a message to the state of New York and the MTA that they will impose penalties if they do not comply with federal law, and that they're operating the congestion pricing cameras in violation of federal law.
Duffy's letter threatens to pull funding from road construction projects in the city and also in other parts of the state, including on Long Island. And it comes a day after the Easter Sunday deadline previously set by the feds came and went. State officials say the program is working, citing nearly 6 million fewer vehicles entering the zone compared with past years since congestion pricing was activated.
At the same time, data shows hundreds of thousands more are taking the subway and buses each week, and the tolls are raising the amount the MTA had projected, about $50 million a month. Duffy initially railed on Hochul and the MTA on subway safety. Following a tour with Mayor Adams and taking a train for 2 stops, he now says it is about the economy.
They're really concerned about what is happening to New York's economy. They should look to see what's happening to Broadway attendance. And they'll see that Broadway show attendance is up. They'll see that restaurant reservations are up.
Legal analysts point out congestion pricing went through a lengthy planning and review process before it was.
The reason that it's up is because a lot of people take the train. People that take the train do that, but the people that want to drive their damn car and not get knocked in the head, yeah, we got enough people in New York and the city to maintain Broadway or whatever like that. What about the people that's coming in from Long Island, Connecticut, and all these other states and all these other places? They got to pay that every day. Not only that, but even if I live in New York, if I go downtown, I got to pay $9. If I'm on a motorcycle, it's $4. How come I live in the city already and y'all charging me for some damn congestion pricing? Oh, because y'all want me to take the train and get knocked in my head. My bad. What y'all got for me over here? Didn't say it was worthless. I said cash is important and so in society to function. Well, Joker Face is the worst. Yes, she is. Thank you, Natalie. Pig Daddy, why would anyone want to live anywhere near New York City? Because we ain't got no damn brain. That's why. Jim, the U.S. dollar must always be superior. Jerry says we had American hostage over there in other countries and they are not going to get them. Okay, what else? We got TJ says, TJ Scooter Pro 1111. Cash is absolutely worthless, my guy. It's flat currency backed by nothing. What else you got here? We got Jim says, no doubt. We got Scooter says, psychic. We got still talking about cash. That's what's up. Kendra dying laughing. Michael Joko Hochul. There you go. Y'all know how we do it. Natalie says, can't wait till Joko Hochul isn't the governor. She's going down as worst person ever. She is trash. Jim says, nice. My Nissan has 224,000 miles. Damn, CVT still working fine. That's worth your money right there, Jim. You got your money worth out of that. One more. Excelor. Are we going cashless, new monetary system? Our dollar is going down in value. The global trust to use it is moving away. Even if we go digital, it's still USD. So what are you guys talking about? Cash, it's like the same thing. Ain't it still USD, US dollar? So it's still the same amount of money. You just don't see it. And I think that's stupid. I'd rather see my money because you can make change and negotiate. Once you do a swipe, you're done. Yeah, you can't negotiate once you swiping and swiping. And guess what another thing does when you swiping and swiping? You don't pay attention to the money that you have. You just keep on swiping away. Oh, tap over here, pay for that. No, if you got some money in your pocket, and you start seeing your wallet get down like this, yeah, that pay more attention to the actual money in your face than looking at numbers. A lot of you guys may disagree. I'm still old school. I'm thinking cash is still king. Y'all, it's still the same money. Oh, digital. What's the difference? It's still USD. Y'all tell me the difference. I'm gonna keep on moving here because now we got this neighborhood vigilante that I want to really get into. Come on, Bronx. Fordham Road area, clap it up for the Bronx, y'all. Clap it up because I think Batman is back. It could be Spider-Man. It could be the Punisher. But guess what happened in the Bronx, y'all? Y'all ready for this? Somebody called themselves S.A. assaulting a 70-year-old lady. And the people in the Bronx basically caught on to this person themselves. They figured out who this person was after he tried to S.A. this 70-year-old lady. Well, I'm going to just put it like this. They whooped his ass. They tore him up. I'm talking about to the point where the detectives at the precinct got a phone call that said, you guys are investigating the case. The person that you're looking for, he's in the hospital. We whooped his ass. We're not claiming who we are, but he's in bed such and such. This hospital, y'all want to go get him? Go get him. And they went and got him. So vigilante justice in the Bronx, you guys know, y'all know how I get down. Y'all know I love it. So check this out. I want you guys to see this. I want you guys to see this clip right here, and here we go. Let me know where you chiming in from so I can get some content from where you guys are from.
A man accused of sexual assault is in a hospital after an encounter with a group of vigilantes.
Okay, you guys gotta double tap that screen on this one. Let's get more people over here. Double tap that screen. I want more people to see this. Do me a favor, you guys, if y'all appreciate the content. Yeah, that's right. Come on, let's get those numbers up. All right, go ahead and send some super chats right now, too. Let's see about 5 super chats. We're trying to get 10 for the week. Let's see about 10 super chats right now. Good one, right? I tried to slip that in. But I want you guys to see this right here. Let's go. Let me bring it back from the top, Tippy, because this, to me, is a blissful, fantastic story. Let's go.
A man accused of sexual assault is in a hospital after an encounter with a group of vigilantes in the Bronx.
Yes, police have been trying to track him down after they say he tried to force himself on a 70-year-old woman near Fordham. Tonight, detectives investigating if he's connected to other crimes in that area. Here's News 4's Mark Santia.
Working through the night, police searched for a suspect wanted in a sexual assault, but the neighborhood found him first. That suspect is now in the hospital. This is video of the man police had been looking for, seen here with no pants on, moments after he allegedly attempted to rape a 70-year-old woman near Creston Avenue and 184th Street around noon last Friday.
I have children and I have an older mother, so yeah, it's very disturbing to hear.
Word of the attack spread quickly through the Bronx.
You can't even come outside during the day. You have to have 4 eyes behind you, on the side of you.
That's really messed up what he did.
Less than 24 hours later, law enforcement sources tell News 4 an anonymous call came into police saying the suspect was detained by residents who delivered vigilante justice near Tybout Avenue and 187th Street. The caller wrapped up by saying detectives could find their suspect in the hospital.
I can't blame them.
That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Whoop his ass. Same thing on the train. 5 people get together. Woo whap, woo whap, woo whap. Woo, woo. I bet you people will shake. I bet you they'll straighten up and fly, right? Straighten up and fly. I bet you they straighten up and fly, right? They get their ass whooped. What y'all think? Come on now. Keep on going. Keep on going now. Had the nerve to call the precinct and say, he's at the hospital.
Came into police saying the suspect was detained by residents who delivered vigilante justice near Tybout Avenue and 187th Street. The caller wrapped up by saying detectives could find their suspect in the hospital.
I can't blame them. I can't blame them.
I would have done the same thing. Because it could have been my grandmother, it could have been anybody. I would have done the same thing.
These women say they feel safer with this alleged predator off the street, no matter how he was taken off the street.
It's messed up because the government really don't do much about it. They'll lock him up now and let him go later. Yep. There's too many people getting arrested and there's too many people getting out of jail.
Notice how everybody's saying the same sentiment, everyone's saying the same thing. That's how it is when you ask real New Yorkers about the subway and you listen to Kathy Jokel Hochul or one of the administrators say, hey, crime is down. Ask one of these ladies, ask me, ask anybody that take the train. Crime what? Down where? Who? Still going on. But the fact that they whooped his ass, whooped that trick, they whooped his ass. That's how you do it.
Later, there's too many people getting arrested and there's too many people getting out of jail free-handed.
I'm so happy they got him up out of here.
For Stenler Contreras, she says the catch and release system is wearing thin on the neighborhood, and with allegations of an attempted rape of a 70-year-old woman, people here are fed up.
He deserved what he got. I'm sorry.
Law enforcement sources tell us the suspect is not cooperating in helping police identify his attackers. We're also told detectives are working to see if he may be connected to other crimes in the area.
So he's not even being helpful to the police. And so who beat you up? I don't want to get my ass whooped again. So you know what? Let's just arrest me. Just how about this? How about this? Just take me in. Just take me in. Because I don't think I want any more of that whooping that they put on me in the Bronx. You lucky they didn't KILL you. In the Bronx? You lucky somebody ain't just come over, you know what I'm saying, 2 times to the inner or bang bang. He's lucky. They had the nerve to call the police and say, "Oh, that man that you're looking for, oh, he's in this hospital in bed number such and such." Natalie says, "Of course they want to prosecute the people that got justice. Rabid gunman dying laughing." Andrew says, "That's definitely wasn't his first attempt." Nope. What we got here? We got Kendra at Pig Daddy. Absolutely, motherfucking lootly. Okay. TJ says, "Pig Daddy, that's a fact, my brother." Joe says, "No, what we got? We got Rabid Gunman. I wonder if the guy was illegal. He probably was. Because of no bail reform." That's right, Fun Size. Joe DiMatteo. Okay, I see you. Jim says, "Anybody here go to school in Parkchester?" Anybody here go to school in Parkchester? Jim wants to know. Kendra Walker says, "Justice served, temporary, better than nothing." That's right, Pig Daddy. You hurt my grandma and nobody will ever know what happened to you. Okay, there you go. That's right, Pig. Joe DiMatteo said, "You must be a loony leftist." What else we got? Indian says, the boogie down. That's right. Batty Lynn dying laughing. Kendra, that's right. That's right. Natalie, hope New York don't prosecute the vigilantes. Joe said, "This guy is the homegrown Trump." He's talking about banishing El Salvador. Okay, y'all. Another Bronx tale, says Jim. Indian said, "Whoop that trick. Standing on business," said Kendra. That's what I'm talking about, y'all. And that's how you do it when you want to get some vigilante justice in the Bronx. He don't even want to tell who whooped him. He's not even giving up the information. He said, "You know what? I'm just going to hold that ass whooping. I'm going to just hold that." And I bet you one thing, after he get out, I don't think he'd be staying in the Bronx too long, because somebody already said that's probably not the first time he did something like that. You guys, y'all know what it is. I want you guys to go ahead and hit that comment, hit that like button, double tap that. We're trying to get up to 40,000 subscribers. That's not a big feat when we have so many people that come here every day. So if you like the content that we've been showing you all day and you want to be a member, go ahead and double tap. Let those three dots come down. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel like everybody else. Whoever you see with that glove up, that's right, the glove, you get it, and you get the different stones for different levels that you go to once you become a member. But if you just want to subscribe, that would be fantastic too, because we're right up at the cusp of going to 35,000, which is going to get us to 40,000, 50, 60, 70, 100, and a million, because we're going to keep on going. We do this every day. This is our bottom line. I'm your host, BOOGOTTINYC. Right now, do me a favor. Everybody trying to make some money, 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 money. Go ahead into the descriptions, because we got a survey in there for up to $500. There's 2 different ones. Go ahead and fill those out. See if you can make some money. When you win, I win too. Also, if you got a promotion going on, if you're a mobile barber, if you actually have some businesses outside of the lines or something that you got a promotion going on for, a website, a flyer, send it to the email address, bridgethisllc@gmail.com. We'll put it up in the post section so that all of us here can also see what your business is about, and you may be able to make some more money, 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 money. Also, I got my confirmation 2 days ago that we are confirmed for the Show Your Talent search. It's going to be going on in May. I'm going to be giving you $250. If you got the best talent, you show up to the location I tell you guys to be at. I want to see what you got going on. Boom! And you make $250. That's in Manhattan, Bronx, Brooklyn, and Queens and Staten Island. After that, we get the finalists and we bring them all together, where it's a chance that they make $1,000, y'all. $1,000 could help out right now a lot. So I want to see your talent in all 5 boroughs. After that, we're going to be replicating this in other states. So don't think that I'm not going to be coming to Detroit, Atlanta, Los Angeles, and doing the same thing, because this is Show Your Talent. I'm going to be out there getting to know you guys. Y'all going to get to know me, and I can't wait to bring this together so that we all can continue doing what we're doing. And it's been our bottom line. I want you guys to have a fantastic day. Don't think about the problems, because guess what? You woke up today and now you got the wherewithal and the energy to push through. So stay positive. Last thing I'm gonna tell you guys, if you could have went anywhere, but the fact of the matter that you came here to chill with me, I appreciate you. So until tomorrow, y'all know what it is. See y'all till tomorrow, same time, 6 o'clock in the morning. Our bottom line, share, like, subscribe, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Stay safe. Get 'em! One.